This is the farmhouse where I grew up, where my father grew up, where my grandfather grew up, where my great-grandfather grew up. The main house was built in 1860. We got electricity in 1943 with the Rural Electrification Act. And now what I am doing is I'm removing the majority of the 1960 updates and reverting the era back to somewhere between 1920 and 1950. I'm going to show you each room in the order that I did them years ago. While I am no more of a carpenter or a designer than any member of my family has ever been, I'm doing it to suit me and my tastes. This episode concerns the 4 free air dryers that I have in the pantry for drying various things. Now this first one is something that I put together that folds up against the wall, and it's built from 5/8 hardwood dowels as opposed to the commercial versions that you see that are 1/2 inch or less. And what happens is if you use one of those dryers, a commercial one, for very long, you put heavy wet clothes on them, the thin dowels begin to bend. So these 5/8 dowels hold up very well, and they've held up for years. They will take multiple wet jeans or other pants, all kinds of clothes, and they do not bend. And here you can see where when it's folded up against the wall, it is out of the way. It's just pieces of wood that we used a Forstner bit to drill holes and put the dowels in, and it just pivots on that. And here's the dryer fully extended and painted. We used a gloss green latex enamel that will hold up for 2 to 3 years before it begins to wear away and it has to be reapplied. This has been our main clothes dryer for years. Now because of the size of it, you do have to wash more often than you would if you had a regular dryer. The next free air dryer in the old pantry is a 3-arm metal pivoting unit that mounts right next to the slop sink for holding hand towels that are used at the slop sink. The third free air dryer is this metal fold down unit that mounts on the wall, and it has 3 fold down loops. This is mainly used for drying Ziploc bags using the clothespins that you see. And then for drying shirts is the unit that is called the favorite clothes dryer. This dryer has 8 arms that when not in use fold down and lock in against the wall. And as you can see here, when it's fully extended, it has 2 height positions, the high groove and the low groove, depending on what you're going to dry. And here it is with the arms fully extended. The arms are very strong. You can put a lot of weight on them, although all we use it for is drying shirts, so you can do 8 shirts at a time. And that is how we air dry items in the old pantry. And this concludes book 2 of the farmhouse.